Welcome to today's video, and if you're here out of curiosity because you've heard your friends or colleagues talk about it and you're unsure what Ramadan is, let me just start this video and give a 30-second overview of what the month of Ramadan actually means. So Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar and is the holiest month out of all for Muslims. During this month, Muslims will forego a lot of their worldly desires to increase their remembrance of God. So things Muslims will be doing during the month will include increasing the frequency of prayers, increasing the recitation of the Quran, as well as increasing the amount of donations that they give to charity. And lastly, the main one that everyone I'm sure is aware of is Muslims will forego food and drink between the hours of sunrise and sunset. The month typically has around 29 or 30 days depending on the sighting of the moon and culminates in a big festival called Eid al-Fitr. Now in this video I want to be covering things that I personally do to take advantage of this month and make it as productive as possible. And that's sort of related to the first point I want to cover, which is Ramadan is a very individualistic experience. Now from the outside it might look like all Muslims are going through the same things during this month. However, everyone has their own physical, emotional and spiritual journeys that they'll be going through during Ramadan. And that's always the starting point of when it comes to explaining to other people of what Ramadan actually is. So of course I'm going to be talking about the physical side to do with not eating between the hours of sunrise and sunset, but I'm also going to explain what Ramadan is from a spiritual and emotional perspective as well. Now the second point when it comes to this month is, whilst yes, it is an individual experience where you have your own goals, the journey that you go through during the month doesn't have to be one by yourself. Sharing your goals with friends and families is a great way to stay motivated during this challenging month. Naturally, we're going to feel lethargic and we'll probably try and sleep off as much of our hunger as possible. However, by having regular catch-ups either one-on-one or in group chats, it's a great way for everyone to stay accountable to what they wanted to achieve during this month. By sharing goals is a great way for you as well as reminding others to stay accountable and push through the tiredness to make sure that they make this month as productive as possible. The third area I want to focus on is about eating, and I get it. It's not going to be easy to control what you eat during this month. So I'm not going to sit here and say samosas are evil or you should be having fruit and vegetables with every single meal. But I would say make sure you only indulge in moderation. There are a few things that I do want to cover when it comes to eating. And these mainly revolve around the fact that you'll be eating at different times of the day that you're used to. So when it comes to eating early in the morning, don't try and have something that your body isn't used to. I personally have oats. I used to have this before Ramadan, and I make sure I still have this during Ramadan in the early mornings. Oats are a great breakfast to have in the morning as it'll keep you full and will give you sustained energy throughout the day. Now when it comes to opening my fast at iftar, I do try and limit the amount of fried foods I have, but I do want to emphasize at that point of iftar when you're starting to eat after 16 hours to not have something very heavy. So I normally start my iftar with something such as rice cakes, fruits, or of course dates. Now motivation can be hard, and a lot of the motivation before Ramadan you used to get because you didn't have to think about being hungry. However, there are different ways to be motivated regardless of our energy levels. And that's a great segue onto the next point, which is about how to keep your mind motivated. So we all have things that we enjoy and allow us to recharge ourselves. For some people it's listening to podcasts, other people it's reading books or going for walks. It's important to still carry on doing this during the month to keep your mind energized and charged. For me personally, I like going to the gym and that keeps my mind focused and in prime condition. Now of course, I'm not going to be able to do the same stuff that I used to do before Ramadan. But just having that routine of carrying on with whatever keeps your mind charged and in prime condition is very important for this month for you to accomplish what you set out to do. And if this is something other people enjoy as well, I recommend it, but of course only do what you can whilst fasting. Now you won't be able to do everything you used to do before Ramadan. Personally, I can't do anything where I lie flat on the bench and lift weights above me as I get lightheaded, so I substitute dips for the bench press. And on the days I really can't do any weights, I just go on the spin cycles and spend a couple of minutes there. Now keeping that mind active in the office is also very important during Ramadan. Make sure you take that lunch break as usual. I'm a big proponent of walks and I'd rather be doing short walks during my lunch break than sitting in the canteen and smelling all that food. Now sometimes it'll be raining and so you might not be able to go out for walks. Now on these days I normally spend a little longer in the prayer rooms and talk to other Muslims who come there to ask them about how their Ramadan is going, as well as spending a little extra time reading the Quran. And the last point I want to talk about in this video is just to switch it up how you do the everyday tasks to make sure your mind stays engaged. Whether that's working from another desk in the office or if you have a standing desk to start utilizing that a little more when you start to feel a little tired. Or if you're reading the Quran or praying at home, to do this in another room from one you do as usual. Either way, doing what you do every single day in a slightly different manner will help you stay engaged and more focused on that task. So it's about 1 hour till iftar. I'm going to go get ready. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're curious about how I start utilizing some of the things that I talked about in this video, I'm going to be sharing a video about what a day in my life is like whilst working during Ramadan, so you can hopefully start implementing them in this month.